BBC bargain hunt expert Philip Serrell faced criticism from contestants as he suggested playing cards for an entertainment-themed challenge. The red team rejected the idea, leading to a rocky start. Both teams faced losses at the auction, with the blue team declared winners. Meanwhile, EastEnders introduces Micah Balfour as George's son, Jr., and Don Gillette joins Death in Paradise as D.I. Mervyn Wilson. EastEnders resolves Whitney and Zack's custody fight after Zack persuades Brittany's mother to let her stay. A BBC bargain hunt expert was mercilessly shut down following a bad admission. Not even an instant into today's search, an authority on bargain hunt was shut down. Rue Irvine made a comeback as the host of the well-liked BBC show Today. Given £300 each, two further teams looked through an Oswestry antique market to determine who could turn the largest profit. Sheena and Yvonne made up the red team, and Rachel and Elaine competed for the blue squad. Expert Philip Serrell joined the red team, and things didn't go well at first. The Reds were given the duty of locating an object related to entertainment for today's presentation. Philip jumped right in and offered to trade playing cards. "Hold on a minute, I think we're going to do a terrible job with this challenge in here," he murmured. "If you purchased a similar item." The red team, on the other hand, shot down the recommendation right away, indicating that they were not impressed with the suggestion. Rue remarked during the narrative, "They're definitely not entertaining that idea, Phil." As they secured their belongings, the search became more efficient. They lost £31, though, so they didn't do well at the auction. Despite leaving today's program as winners, the blue team also suffered a £19 loss. A former Emmerdale actor has been hired in EastEnders as George's son Jr. Walford will soon welcome Micah Balfour. Micah Balfour, a former star of Emmerdale, has been hired in EastEnders as Jr., the son of George Knight. Vic Barman George has been learning over the past few months that his adopted father, Eddie Knight, killed his biological father decades prior in order to avoid a custody dispute. George has struggled with deep grief following the unexpected passing of his adoptive mother Gloria, even though he consented to testify against his father in his murder trial. Throughout this difficult time, viewers have seen George attempt to get in touch with his estranged son Jr., but he has not been successful. The precise reason for the father-son reunion is being kept under wraps for the time being, but this will alter when Jr. gets to Walford later this month. Producer of EastEnders Chris Clenshaw has alluded to the fact that viewers might anticipate Jr. arriving with secrets of his own. "I'm delighted to welcome Micah Balfour to the cast of EastEnders as he takes on the role of Junior Knight," said the show's producer. The audience is mostly unaware of George's son and the events leading up to their separation, despite the fact that Junior has been mentioned ever since the Knights arrived in the square. After an unexpected encounter with his father, Junior travels to Walford and is immediately thrown into the center of the action. But viewers will soon realize that there's more to Junior than first meets the eye. In addition to appearing in Death in Paradise, Doctor Who, and The Bill, Micah has previous experience in soap operas. He played Dr. Jermaine Bailey in Emmerdale. "I'm thrilled to be joining the cast of EastEnders as part of the Knight family," added the actor. "I grew up watching the show and many of the characters have been part of my life for as long as I can remember, so walking onto the square for the first time was the most surreal experience of my career. Working with Colin Salmon, whom I have long admired, as well as the incredible Harriet Thorpe and Kelly Bright, as well as Francesca Henry and Molly Rainford, who are on-screen dynamos, is an honor. Junior is a complex man who will create some agitation, thus he's an intriguing character to play. George is about to receive some life-altering news the following week when he is diagnosed with a brain disorder associated with frequent head trauma, before Junior gets here. An EastEnder has been named the next lead detective in Death in Paradise. Don Gillette, a former EastEnders star, has been cast as the new main detective in the BBC series Death in Paradise, so he's leaving Walford for the bucolic town of St. Marie. The British actor, who is most known for portraying the evil Lucas Johnson in EastEnders, has been cast as Detective Inspector Mervyn Wilson, a role he likened to receiving a very precious jewel. With 8.3 million viewers, Death in Paradise was the second most watched drama in 2023. Gillette will appear in the Christmas special for the first time this year. "This is a big show, with a big heart and the love continually grows for it," remarked Gillette. "I feel like a very valuable and cherished jewel has been placed in my hands after being offered the new lead role in Death in Paradise." Filming in Guadeloupe has already started, and Gillet stated he plans to stay grateful, humbled and dedicated to the show. Even at the most trying moments, when every muscle in my body cries out for me to jump off the set and into the nearest ice-cold lager, swimming pool, or sea. The detective drama, which is set against a backdrop of sun-drenched beaches and dazzling waters, will premiere on BBC One for its 14th season in 2025. According to the press announcement for the show, Gillet's character D.I. Wilson is expected to be overly pleased with his new surroundings when he arrives in the made-up island of St. Marie from London. When Ralph Little's D.I. Neville Parker leaves, he assumes the position of lead detective. He will follow actors Ardal O'Hanlon, Chris Marshall, and Ben Miller as the fifth lead investigator on the show. When Marshall's D.I. Humphrey Goodman served as the island's chief detective in the fourth series of the show, the 57-year-old actor had made a guest appearance in that capacity as a different character. Gillet has acted in television shows including Shetland, Doctor Who, Silent Witness, Holby City, and The Stranger. BBC Studios has granted a license for Red Planet Pictures' Death in Paradise to be shown in more than 230 countries. The successful spin-off Beyond Paradise from the previous year was followed by the announcement of Return to Paradise, an Australian spin-off series. The conclusion of Whitney and Zack's custody dispute is revealed on EastEnders. Everything changes after a covert meeting with Brittany's mother. Spoilers for EastEnders ahead. Brittany Wainwright, the foster daughter of Whitney Dean and Zack Hudson on EastEnders, is once again under their protection. Viewers recently discovered that Whitney had not been legally fostering Brittany as she had stated. Rather, she had transported Brittany from Milton Keynes to Walford by paying Brittany's mother Keely under the table. Social services had taken custody of Brittany until they could ascertain the veracity of Whitney's agreement with the mother of the kid. Bianca also found out earlier this week that Zack had planted a kiss on Whitney's closest friend Lauren, threatening to tell Whit the truth unless Zack could get Brittany back home. In Wednesday's May 1st episode, Zack and Bianca managed to locate Keely, but their meeting at Walford East turned tense. Bianca accused Keely of selling her missing phone to get more drugs, and she almost left the fight in the nick of time. Zack persuaded Keely to inform social services that their plan for Brittany's custody was all above board in an attempt to persuade her. "I'm going to call the social and tell them to find Brittany somewhere else to live," said Keely. Unable to control herself, Bianca accused Keely of being a bad mother. Zack accused Bianca of sabotaging their attempt to resolve the custody battle after Keely left. Later, when Zack saw Keely alone at the Vic, he urged her to allow Brittany to stay with Whitney in order to offer her a different childhood than the one she received. "With me and Whit, we can be there for Britt so she can get help, and then someday, without the worry and stress of having to bring her up, you can get the help you need too, and somewhere down the line you can be there for her," Zack reassured Keely. "Keely, it's not too late. You only need to choose wisely. Bring her home for us." Whitney was having a heated argument with Bianca at home about Zack when he unexpectedly showed up with Brittany, Keely, and her social worker. The social worker disclosed that they would have to iron out the specifics, as Keely had attested to the agreement permitting Brittany to remain with Whitney and Zack. Brittany teased Whitney as they hugged, saying, "You can't get rid of me that easily." Will Bianca, however, be honest with Whitney about Zack and Lauren? Please subscribe our channel.